they really focus on the needs of each individual child and exactly what it is that excites them, what it is that gets them passionate about a certain subject. With Montessori, they really encourage that, and I think as all parents, we're looking to create that spark in our kids. We're looking to see that fire grow.
I'm Glenn Herbert, and I'm an editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private schools to gain insights into their programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administrators. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
So I think one of the things that really drew me to Children's House Montessori was the fact that the school starts right at 18 months old, and that was a big thing for us. Is we really wanted our kids to be social early, and Children's House really offered that right from 18 months in their toddler program, which was just fantastic. So both our girls, who are now 9 and 7, still with Children's House, have got to experience the consistency of the same curriculum, the same style of teaching ever since they first got into the schooling age. So one of the things that one of the things I love that Children's House offer at the early age of 18 months is the fact there is actually a curriculum. So they were being taught the use of fine motor skills, house skills, right to the point of laying the table for meals and cleaning up after themselves, using a broom and duster. All those simple things that you don't really think a 2-3-year-old has the capability to do, but we just don't often give them the chance. And that's really something that Children's House flourishes at, is giving those early learners the opportunity to develop a skill set, which most kids don't get till they're like 7 or 8. Something my kids really love is the fact that the class sizes are quite small, and I think that really helps to bring friends closer together. It gives them the feeling that they actually have some connection with their teachers, and that's really important for me to know that when they're at school, they're actually enjoying the environment. They come home saying I ask them what's their favorite thing they did every day, and being able to collaborate with their friends in that learning environment. It's one of the things that they really love to do. As a parent, one of the things I really love about Children's House is the fact that you don't feel like just another parent. They really do like to give you the attention that you need when you have questions or concerns, and also give you the opportunity to give you feedback quite frequently on how your kids are doing, and also what you can do as a parent to help with the Montessori process at home. And I think that's something that a lot of people coming into a Montessori school are worried about, is how are they going to be able to ensure the environment at home fits with what they're doing at school. And Children's House are really good at making you feel comfortable that way. I don't know. I mean, generally, I'm a pretty happy parent. I know that seems like a bit of a cop out, but um, if there was one thing that the school could improve upon, is just extending, so the kids don't have to leave a grade 6. I think the opportunity for our kids to go through the Montessori process all the way through to grade 12 would be so valuable in terms of the collaborative learning that happens at at a Montessori school, and especially at Children's House. I think would really set them up for the future. So fingers crossed that Children's House will expand the school into older age groups. Something that really surprised me when our kids started at Montessori is the speed at which they pick things up. I believe this is from the Montessori learning method in the way that they break everything down, whether it be something that's tactile, whether it's something that's academic, and it really allows the kids to build on some of the simplistic elements of a particular subject and keeps building on that until they become truly comfortable to be able to go off on their own and do activities, whether it be in math, science, geography, where they can really explore. And I think that that's something that's always surprised me is the ability for the Montessori system to allow kids to explore at their own level, not as part of the manufacturing process we have in other schooling systems. One of the best values that sorry, let me start again. One of the best values that Children's House and the Montessori school method really imparts upon the kids is the ability to work together, because the class groupings are every 3 years. So you'd have a classroom with grades 1, 2, and 3 in together. The kids who are age, in grade 3, they're helping to teach the grade ones based on what it is that they've already learned and become comfortable with. And the teacher in that classroom helps to encourage those older kids to become leaders and mentors for these young kids. And it's fascinating and incredible to see with children as young as 6, 7, looking to help the younger children as they're coming into this new environment. And it's a really wonderful thing to see in my kids and see their leadership and their compassion and their empathy evolve when it comes to working collaboratively with younger kids. So something's pretty common amongst most Montessori families, and especially at Children's House, is wanting to go away from the normal school system. And there are families of all financial backgrounds and all kinds of ethnic backgrounds. But what we all have in common is that we all see that the current schooling system is not geared towards the individual needs of the child. It really is geared towards putting as many kids through as possible. Whereas Montessori, they really focus on the needs of each individual child and exactly what it is that excites them, what it is that gets them passionate about a certain subject. With Montessori, they really encourage that, and I think as all parents, we're looking to create that spark in our kids. We're looking to see that fire grow when it comes to a particular subject. And quite often that can be expunged in the larger school system because there just isn't the opportunity for the kids to explore the deeper facets of a particular subject because they have to move on. So I think that's something that all parents, all Montessori parents really truly love, is the ability for our kids to find something passionate that they love about a subject and really kind of explore and see where that goes. So one of the things that Children's House like to do a lot of are field trips, because that's the best way for a child to learn, is to get out into a different environment and to take those skills and those subjects that they've learned in the classroom, and get them out into the real world. And quite often the kids will head out to do something adventurous like treetop trekking, which gives them the opportunity to learn about all manner of science, environment, while they're out having fun. And one of the things that I love to see in both my kids, who they're not big fans of heights, is the ability for them to gain strength from their friends and the teachers to push them through the heights, around kind of getting up there, putting a harness and a helmet on, and walking through 20, 30 feet up in the air. I just was loved the stories that they came back with, how they didn't want to go and they were super nervous, but because of the environment they have within their classroom, and it's a real team effort, that they were able to really push through their fears and as a team get through this treetop trekking experience. And I love that story and what it means to my girls. My experience with Children's House has been second to none. The teachers have a true love for education and a love for the delight in seeing kids evolve and develop. And one of the things that I think is even more important is that because the class groups are over 3 years, you have a teacher who gets to see a child evolve over 3 years of their academic life, rather than just year to year. And that plays a huge part in seeing their growth and being able to help guide them when there are areas that they're struggling with, which you just don't get when you have a different teacher every single year. So I think that's been one of the most special parts of the teacher-student relationship at Children's House. And the administration has evolved over time, and the ability now to do online payments and communicating through school apps. It just makes the experience for a parent that much more carefree, and it truly does help to make the Montessori experience and the Children's House experience a true pleasure. When I'm recommending Children's House to other families, it really is. So quite often it can be a challenge to convince somebody that paying for their child's education when they could be getting it free elsewhere is something that is worthwhile. And I tell everybody I know it's worth every penny to see my kids have the attention that they need in the smaller class sizes, to see the relationship that they have with their teachers, and the fact that the teacher can talk with them, or teach them over the course of 3 years rather than a single year. And also just the community aspect of the Montessori, of the Children's House community. We all work together to help raise additional funds for the school, but there's no high pressure. There's no big commitment like there can be in many other private school institutions. It really is, a group effort, and it's a wonderful thing to see when the parents come together to help organize a school fair or to help assist the school in other ways. So it's not difficult for me to have that conversation with other parents, and quite often I get there's a lot of interest. The number one barrier is the financial side. And I think especially when you're looking at the age 18 months through to age 6, when they're kind of entering into grade 1, you're paying the same amount for childcare as you are for a proper curriculum through the Montessori school system. If I could go back and give myself advice before we joined the Children's House Montessori School, it would have been to have thought about it earlier and found out more about the Montessori school system. I really did not have any clue before we had kids, and it was actually a friend of ours who recommended we tried the Children's House in Port Perry, and it was a true eye opener to see this different way of schooling. And I think if I could recommend to anybody is to learn more about the Montessori school system, get onto YouTube, pick up a book, and really pick up the information that's available, because it's fascinating to see that this education system is so much better than what we are providing the majority of our school children. And I think that's a really important thing for us to do. Is we need to be questioning what we're putting all our kids through, and see how we can allow our kids to have that leg up, because that's what they need at the end of the day. Is once they get into the workforce, what is it that's going to help them stand out from the rest? And that's really what Montessori can do for your kids.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.